Hello everyone and welcome back to another deck idea brought to you by Double Sleeved. Today we're covering the blue Sun Gohan deck coming out in Fighter's Ambition. It's heavily focused on the movie superhero, as you can see by the cards in front of you, but let's jump into the leader. We've got a permanent. You can only place up to 3 energy in your energy area. A heavy restriction for this deck. They really wanted to limit the energy and offensive capabilities of the deck. We've got a lot of dual attackers and things like that, but it is a shame that we are restricted to that 3 energy. When it attacks, we draw 1 and awaken when our life is at 5 or less, or we have a blue Z battle card with an energy cost of 2 or more, superhero in its character name. We switch 2 of our energy to active mode and then take life down to 5. On our awakened side, we've got the same permanent, only place up to 3 energy. Auto once per turn if all of our energy is mono blue. When one of our blue battle cards is added to our Z energy, we get to switch one of our energy to active mode. And then an activate main / battle once per turn. Draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. So we can combo with a lot of the cards that we have and pretty much dump our whole hand and then activate this effect to draw 3. Which is a unique kind of effect. 3 cards in hand is not a lot, and it's going to be very difficult to defend our life against our opponent, and especially against some of those aggressive decks. But let's jump into the deck. We've got 1-drop Son Goku Daily Diligence. It's a 4K. When it's played, draw 1. Activate battle for 1 blue. If the leader's a Son Gohan, we get to play this card from hand. And then Vegeta. Same activate battle, and then when this is played, look at the top 7, add a blue battle card with superhero in its character name, 4 or less, to our hand, and then shuffle. Pan, Glimpse of Talent, Barrier, 4K, when it's played, draw 1, activate main, your opponent gains control of this card. I would have liked to have seen this card as a 0 cost, 0 combo power battle card, but our opponent will get that 5,000 combo power. Vegeta Interplanetary Training. It's a 3-drop 15k. Auto limit 1 for 1 blue. If your leader is a blue Sun Gohan card and it's your turn, at the end of a battle where this card was used in a combo from your hand, play it from your drop. And then auto when this card is played, choose one. Your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of the deck, or our opponent places one of their battle cards 4 or less at the bottom of the deck. Really good and a lot of value for this card for 1 energy. And then Sun Gohan Power Unshackled, auto for 1 blue. If your leader is a superhero card in its character name, at the end of the battle where this card is used in a combo from your hand, again, play it from the drop, another 15k. This one is an activate main, limit 1 for 1 blue. We place this card in the owner's drop, and until the end of our opponent's next turn, our opponent can't attack with battle cards unless they choose one of their battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less and place it at the bottom of the deck each time. You could run a couple more copies of this card. It's actually really good and it's got a strong activate main. Super Saiyan Son Gohan Wrathful Awakening. It's a 19k dual attacker. Activate main, limit 1 for 1 blue. If your opponent has a pan superhero in play, we get to play this card from our hand, which is why we are giving our opponent the pan. And then when it's played, choose one of your opponent's non-pan superhero battle cards, 5 or less, and place it at the bottom of the deck. Again, it's a shame they get that combo power, since we're not actually removing the pan, but it is the way it is. Gamma 1 New Hero. It's a 15k critical with heroic. When you play another heroic battle card or activate a heroic extra skill, we get to draw 1 and then negate this skill. Activate main, limit 1 for 1 blue. If you have 3 or more energy and a player has a Sun Gohan superhero card in play, we get to play it from hand, which could be either of these Sun Gohans, and it's just getting a 15k critical for 1 blue energy. Piccolo the Infiltrator, 20k 3-drop, deflect dual attack. We play it for 2 blue energy, limit 1 if our leader's blue from our hand. Activate main for 1 blue, discard it and play up to 1 pan from the deck. And when this card is played, we get to choose 1. This card either gains barrier until the end of our opponent's next turn, or we play another pan from the deck. More likely you'll be giving this barrier just to have that 20k dual attack pressure. And then Son Gohan and Piccolo Heroic Team, it's an 8-drop, 19k energy exhaust, dual attack limit 1. So we can restand this card with some effects, but that dual attack will only trigger once, so we can attack 3 times with it, not 4. And then auto limit 1, so this is going to trigger every time we attack, but the first time when we attack, we draw 1, and if our opponent has a battle card in play, this card gets plus 5,000 power for the battle. Activate main once per turn. If you have 5 or more Z energy, or 2 or more Z battle cards in play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 3 or more, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So some great barrier removal. Activate battle for 1 blue or 1 yellow. If your leader's blue or yellow and 3 or more blue and or yellow cards are in your combo area, play this card from your hand. So a heavy cost to get this card out, but it is quite strong once you get it onto the field, especially if you have that 5 or more Z energy or 2 Z battle cards. But comboing 3 cards is a hefty cost. Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, a card that's going to be a staple in blue decks, I feel, for a little while. We've got to activate battle, limit 1 for 1 blue. If your leader's mono blue or a Zamasu or Goku Black card, and you have 3 or more Z energy, play this card from your hand. 20k double strike, and when it gets played, we draw 1 and choose one of our opponent's battle cards, 4 or less, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. That's really good at activate battle timing, and we've seen just how strong 20k double strikers for one draw a card for 1 energy are. We've seen it in Red Sin Shenron. So if you can get that 3Z energy early and get this card out, it's very good. Dimension Magic, pretty standard. And then we've got Android 17 Defending Friends, the promo coming out in the next tournament kit. It's a 1-drop negate, 4k, negate the attack and play this card in rest mode. And then auto limit 1, if your leader's blue and your leader is a Z leader, you have 3 or more Z energy, or you have a Z battle card in play. When it's played for the turn, your opponent can't attack with battle cards unless they choose 1 card in their hand and place it at the bottom of the deck each time. A really strong negate. And then we've got Supreme Kai of Time, Guardian of Space Time. We don't have a lot of draw power in this deck, and a lot of ways to dump our hand and be able to draw back up to 3 cards. So I found that with the aggressive nature of this deck, it made sense to have the Kai. If we have 5 or less cards in hand, when it's used in a combo, this card gets plus 5,000 combo for the battle, making it a free 10k, similar to super combos. The other effect is for a Black Saiyan, which isn't relevant for this deck. Child's Army Reinforcement, a token negate, really strong in staples in every deck for every color at this point. Negate the attack, play the token with blocker, and if you have 5 or less life, you can take the life. Sensu Bean, now routed for if it's our opponent's turn, we get the 5k and untap 2, but still a great card. Xeno Super Combo, if our life is at 5 or less, we pick up a energy, put a card back down, and when it's played, we draw a card. And then secret rare for the deck, we've got the Sun Gohan Beyond the Ultimate on theme. We've got that Beast Gohan right there. It's an 8-drop, 40k ultimate. We play it with the activate main for 2 blue energy. If your leader's blue, you have 3 or more energy, and you place 2 cards from your hand at the bottom of your deck. Play it from hand, so a pretty heavy cost there. When it's played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and unisons, ignoring barrier, return them to the owner's hand, and if your opponent has more cards in hand than you do, place 1 card from your opponent's life at the bottom of their deck. An incredible effect, especially with that bounce, just to be able to burn that 1 life. Especially if they're on 1 life, we've seen how strong that can be with the Vegeta secret rare. Activate main / battle once per turn. Choose up to 2 of your cards, switch them to active mode, and if you switch this card to active mode by this skill, it gains critical for the turn, which is why the multicolor one does have the limit 1 on the dual attacker, because you can restand this card and the secret rare and be able to attack multiple times with both of them. Moving into the Z deck, we've got Beerus Airy Annihilator. It's a 2 energy, 2 Z energy, 10k barrier. Auto not once per turn. When it attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. This card gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. Activate main once per turn for 2 blue energy. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, switch this card to active mode. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck, and this card gains dual attack for the turn. So we can attack with this card and then do the activate main, restand it, and attack another 2 more times since it gains dual attack there, which is really good. Being able to attack 3 times for 15k to remove 3 battle cards as well is a lot of value for the energy, but this card does need to stick around unless you have the 4 energy to in other blue decks to play it and then immediately do the activate main. In this deck, you need to play it and it needs to survive for the next turn to be able to do that restand. Son Gohan Stronger together. This card and the Vegeta both have really strong autos. This one has Deflect and Barrier. The Vegeta has Deflect, but if your leader is mono blue, when this card is played, if your opponent has 11 or more cards in hand, they place cards from their hand at the bottom of the deck in any order until they have 10 cards left. So really strong for those decks that draw heaps of cards, just to be able to force them down to 10. And then activate battle, limit 1. If your leader's character name includes superhero and you have 3 or more energy, you remove this card from the game, choose up to 1 of your blue battle cards with 2 or more character names, and it gains plus 10,000 power and triple strike for the battle. So we can give that onto the Son Gohan and Piccolo and make it a 29k triple strike, triple striker for that battle. And we still have a couple more attacks with it, with the dual attack and restand and things like that, but it can get the plus 5,000 for the battle. It's the first attack as well. It's a shame it doesn't give it for the turn, but that would probably be too strong. And then we've got the Vegeta, same auto, and then another auto, limit 1, send 1 blue card from your hand to your warp. When it attacks, use a mono blue card with 5,000 combo from the drop with its skills negated, and at the start of your turn, add the card sent to the warp back to your hand. So it is a 15k attacker. And then Cell Awaken of the Created, 3 energy, which we will be tapping out for unless we combo away a blue battle card into our Z energy to untap. 2 Z energy, deflect critical 25k. When it's played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 5 or less, place them under this card. Activate main once per turn. If 1 or more cards are under this card and you place them in the owner's drop, switch this card to active mode. Additionally, if you used this card's skill to place 4 or more cards in the drop, this card gains triple strike for the turn. An incredible card, being able to swing twice for 25k critical, and potentially one of them being triple strike. But that is the deck. It's definitely a unique one, one that you need to be mindful of all the combos that you have, since you don't have a ridiculous amount of draw. And if you're going to be comboing your whole hand away and relying on the draw 3, then you are susceptible to some RNG there. But an interesting deck. I'm interested to see other people's lists as well. But if you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you at the next one.